Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from those following us from the West countries and good evening for those following us from the East countries. It is an honor for me to take part at this Digital Motor Summit 2020. This is eco-friendly and it is an honor for me to be one of the first speakers. Many thanks to all of you to participate at this unique event. Today's theme of my presentation is the Swiss policy on electric motor systems. I will pass through different points: the energy strategy of Switzerland for the 2050, electric motor system, policy, regulation, voluntary measures, and some conclusive remarks. In May 2017, the Swiss voters approved the Energy Strategy 2050. This strategy is basically based on renewable energy, energy efficiency, and the phasing out of the nuclear energy. At the same time, the Federal Council is formulated a net zero target. That means that by 2050, Switzerland should not emit more CO2 than what can be stored at the same time. As you can see, in Switzerland, the 2090 production, we produce still 35% with nuclear power plants and 2% with others not renewable energy. This is still a high production that ensures a base load for different regions. In Switzerland, this energy consumption is basically in three main sectors, that is service, industries, and households. The total consumption in Switzerland in 2019 was about 57 terawatts. Even if we are still producing some of this energy with nuclear power plants, we are proud to announce that our energy efficiency policy is giving some results. Because in 2019, the total consumption was minus 4.3% compared to the 2010 and minus 8% compared to the 2018, and that's despite a growing of the gross domestic product. That means a development of the economy, a growing of the population, and the weather change. This is a great result in terms of energy efficiency. Step back to the consumption. If we merge this information in the analysis of the Swiss energy consumption by type of use and the Swiss electricity statistics, we can see that more or less 56% of the industry consumption is related to motor system. For services is the 57%, for the households is around 30%. That is a big part that at the end give more or less 40% of the total Swiss electricity consumption related to motor system. Which motor system? We have pumps, more or less 20%, compressor for cooling systems, 32%, compressor for compressor air production, 6%, rotating machine, fans, and other systems. What can we do to reduce the consumption on those systems? And what can we do especially for that, for motors, pumps, and those systems? We have the regulations and we have the MIPS that Switzerland is now aligned with the Europe for that. Maybe just for some information, for the electric motors in 2021, in July 21, this range will be larger from 0 to 75 up to 1000 kilowatt with E3 motors, no more 375. I will not pass through those information because, as I said, we are aligned with Europe. What is the impact of those regulations on a motor system? We can improve higher performance of the components. That means we can reduce from 2 to 20% the consumption. We can have a higher efficiency class of the motors. That means we can reduce from 3 to 8% this consumption. And we can have an optimization of the regulation. That's for more for system where a variable load is applied. What can we not do with the MIPS is to put some restriction on the dimensioning. For that, the Switzerland, the Swiss Federal Office of Energy, has a program that called Swiss Energy. In Swiss Energy, we have different sectors. We have education, we have information, for example, top motors or some campaign dedicated for cooling system or for fan system. And we have consulting. Consulting, we have a dedicated project and programs for pump system, for example, and for motor systems. What can we do thanks to these voluntary measures and with the consultings? We can improve the process in order to have a process optimization and reduce from 5 up to 50% the energy consumption, and we can redimensioning the system in order to further have some energy reduction from 5 to 15%. Another system that we have in Switzerland is as voluntary measure is per kilowatt. With per kilowatt, we support with investment some projects. How does it work? This is a competitive tenders for projects and programs. As I said, there is an auction process where only the best cost efficiencies ratio projects are selected. There is 3 calls for projects each year. And as I said, the implementation of the energy measures will financially support it. We have different phases. The first phase is the call. We receive the project. Then in the Swiss Federal Office of Energy, we check those projects one by one, and we check with the eligibility criteria. To go in the third phase, the auction, we just have the projects that are in accordance with the criteria. We have the auction process, and some of them will be out of budget. Only those one will receive monetary support. There is then a fourth phase, that is the implementation, where the company have 36 months maximum for the implementation of the measures. And at the end, there is the funding process. That means in the Swiss Federal Office of Energy, we have the possibility to go by the companies to make an audit, a quality audit, and then we release the funds. For projects that are smaller than an investment of 20,000 Swiss francs, there is other possibility for companies that are the programs. how the programs works. A program is basically like a project, but it's completely managed by thirds. That means that in that case, for example, you have an example here of Top FU. This is a program from Impact Energy that, thanks to in two steps, a company can ask for a motor replacement in a motor system, and they will receive a support. I'm proud to announce that from 2010 up to 2019 we have supported almost 600 projects and programs with 230 millions of Swiss francs. We have an electricity per year saved of around 700 gigawatts. That over the service life it is more or less 9 terawatt hours. That's a great result, but because this one is more or less the electricity consumption of more than 100,000 households. Concluding, we have, as I said, the regulation, the MIPS, we have Swiss Energy, and we have the competitive tenders. The objective is through Swiss Energy with information and consulting to merge all three sectors in order to have a better energy efficiency policy and to improve the energy consumption in Switzerland. Many thanks for your attention. If you have any question, you can just call me or send me an email. Many thanks again. Enjoy your day and see you next time.
Thank you, Simone, for interesting report on Swiss efficiency policy. Now we have received some questions, and I would like to start with the first one. Does Switzerland have some kind of a market surveillance to check whether the pumps and motors and fans sold are actually in compliance with the regulations you have?
Hi, Conrad. Yes, for sure. In the last 3 years, we have commissioned to an external office the surveillance of the Swiss market for the motors, for the market motors. That means they give a good overview, a general overview on the motor system, how they use for pumps, fans, and so on. And yeah, it is a great report of about 40 pages. As I said, that gives a good trend overview of the market system.
Thank you. And we have received another question from our international friends. Is Switzerland able to say that the IE3 motors are having an increased market share?
Yes, for sure. Thanks to the different programs that we have as well, and thanks to the competitive tenders as well, we are increasing the use and the sale of the IE3 motors.
You have any kind of annual report that these data can be checked?
Yes, as I say, the report, the market report of the last 3 years is published in the internet pages of the Swiss Federal Office of Energy.
Okay, thank you. And a last question. Our international viewers are especially interested in what you have called the competitive tenders. Is this a unique system that Switzerland has invented, or did you copy it from somewhere else?
To answer this question, I should go in the past because is working since 10 years, and 10 years ago I was not working in the Swiss Federal Office of Energy. I cannot really answer this question right now. But if you want, as I said, you have my contact. You can write me an email, and I will find the answer. I'm sorry to not reply right now, but
yeah, okay, no problem. But it seems from what you showed that this is one of the most successful incentive programs to get energy efficiency under, I would call that, market conditions. It's not a real subsidy program, but you can compete to get the most efficiency programs realized, and you have real progress in the last couple of years. Thank you very much. I think we conclude your intervention, and I wish you all the best. It looks like also in Ticino you still work from home, do you?
Yes, unfortunately, in this period, is that we have to work from our home. And right now, I'm in a little office. It's this period, but this point is, as I said, there is positive things in that as well. People is less moving, and there is as well an energy consumption, less energy consumption. That's good.
Okay, that's the advantage. Okay, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye-bye.
See you. Thank you. Bye.
This has been Simone Marchesi from Switzerland.